My first trip back to the movies after an entire year of COVID was 2021's Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk, directed by the same person who made Hardcore Henry and written by the John Wick guy. And boy, do you get exactly the product you're signing up for with that crew. It is a very simple story. Some might criticize it for being so simple, call it schlock, but it's almost like a return to form. Like, we're going to take 80s pacing and sensibilities and even use some horribly cringe one liners, and we're going to just roll it up into our modern vibes. This has Falling Down, History of Violence, The Joker, all rolled into a movie where you actually are rooting for the person pretty non-conflictedly after like his initial act. He's a man who's surrounded by performative masculinity. There's so many characters who are just absolute critiques on these people who walk around thinking that they are something special and something tough, but they're not fulfilling their role as a man. And when I say that, it's because this movie has a very clearly traditionalistic leaning, and that's actually what's going to lead into bringing a lot of adult men and their fathers together, because this is a power fantasy for working class Americans at this point. Uh, After a year of COVID, a lot of people have found themselves unable to provide, and this movie creates this fantasy where you engage in your most primal, selfish instincts, and you're absolutely rewarded for it. It's a great time for you and your father and your friendships, and your wife will look at you with a spark in her eyes for the first time in years. And it does the job of that story incredibly well. It's fun and exciting, and you're rooting for him, and he gets injured so much along the journey. Uh, John Wick had a lot more of a fluidness to him, even though he's also an older man. Bob Odenkirk represents your working class older men, and so he will tear through fields and fields of Russians, but he's going to absolutely have his bell rung. He's going to be stabbed, he's going to be hurt, and he's going to carry that through the rest of the movie, where the violence is going to get progressively more cartoonish, but it's not real. It's a dream. Again, that could be a critique, but I understood where we were going with it. I recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I also think it's culturally interesting to put this story out in this day and age. And I really wonder what this is going to do for Bob Odenkirk's career, because he's shown comedy back in the day and always. He's shown his tragic range with Better Call Saul, and now he's just like, I can do that. I can do the kicks and the shooting and the jumping and the gain punch, and I'm really excited to see where he goes from here. Uh, Put on your mask, go out to the theaters, have fun.